Hi everyone. Welcome to another episode of Enso Builders live stream. So, for those of you who are first time here, maybe I can just give you a quick introduction on what this series is about. So, we have a builders live stream every once in 2 weeks, where we highlight different projects that are using Enso routes, Enso shortcuts to help in their project for to solve whatever problems that they have or to make things easier for them. This week we have with us Nick from Teradao. Later he will give you a short introduction. And we also have with us Nenad, who is DevRel at Enzo. So how this is going to be structured is first of all we will start with an introduction of what the different projects are, and then we will move on to a quick demo. So we will introduce to you what is Enzo, what is Teradao, and how we collaborate. And then we will show you a live demo of exactly how it works, the user flow, etc. And then lastly, we will follow up with a roadmap of what is coming, what users can expect, what builders can expect from us. And then we will close off with audience questions. So, all right, let's get straight into it. Let's start with Nenat. Do a quick introduction of yourself, your role in Enzo. What is Enzo, especially for first-time users? And then we can move on to Nick, who will do a quick introduction and an explanation of Turtledown.
Sure thing. So, hi everybody. Welcome to the live stream. My name is Nanad. So, I am a DevRel at Enso. And uh, yeah, what is Enso? Well, I always try to find like a different analogy for it, and the best one I've got for devs is it's similar to stepping away from writing uh, code in assembler and moving away from that into a higher level programming language. So to take that analogy onto the DeFi concepts where this actually lies, the assembler part would be interacting with protocols directly, having to learn their interfaces, and they will differ, and having to sometimes even deploy contracts to handle callbacks and stuff like that, and make that plumbing and put those protocols together. And we would do all of that to get to an outcome. And my outcome would be I want to zap into a vault. So Enso actually gives that distance from the low level stuff. So you would just express the outcome that you want, and that's I want to zap into a vault, for example, and everything else that has to happen for your tokens to go into that vault is uh, is translated for the protocol by Enso. So from, let's say, an abstract statement, I want to zap, you actually get a transaction that encapsulates every single step that your tokens need to go through to land in that vault. So to make it shorter, it's making life easier for DeFi builders on one hand, for handling all those complex integrations, and it's helping builders to actually bring more convenience to user interfaces, so DeFi users can actually do all of those things easier. How Enso does it? We got APIs that support that, so it's really just an API call that gives you a transaction that does what you want it to do. Yeah. So how about that, Nick? Would you add something maybe or?
I
Yeah,
think that should be clear enough. Yeah, Nick, you were saying.
no, yeah, go. I thought you covered it great. Sounded just a good job.
Yeah, okay, let's move on to Nick then. An introduction of yourself, your role at Teradao, and yeah, just let the audiences know, especially those who have not heard of Teradao before.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm Nick, CTO at Turtle. So yeah, we're a distribution protocol connecting users with the best liquidity deals in Web3. So we kind of are. You can think of us as like a brokerage on liquidity. So we've got on one side of the market, we've got LPs consisting of crypto funds, liquid funds, high net worths, whales that have funds that they want to deploy and earn a yield on. Could be ETH, could be BTC, could be stables, could be some other asset. And so they're always, looking for the best deals out there, which sometimes in crypto can be hard to find, or you're not maybe able to do due diligence at a scale if you're an individual. So we kind of package up all the best deal flow from the other side of the market, which is protocols that need liquidity. So that could be a new stablecoin, it could be a new DEX, a new lending market. But usually there's some sort of token incentives or point incentives involved, and we work with those protocols to craft a deal that is attractive for our LPs that they couldn't get outside of Turtle Club. So there's incentive for members to join Turtle Club, and then there's incentive for the protocols to use Turtle Club to get that distribution. Now, we also work with third-party distributors too to showcase deal flow on their UIs. So the goal with Turtle is to not only just showcase deal flow on our UI, but we also want to enable third parties to use our SDKs and our libraries to pull our deal flow and then monetize their user base on their UI. So you can imagine if you're like a wallet or a DEX screener type where you have a lot of user traffic, but maybe no way to monetize that traffic right now, you can use our APIs and our SDKs to plug into our deal flow. So we're going out, we're sourcing the best deals in Web3 and presenting them to your users and giving you a share of any revenue that we earn on those deals. So that's high level how Turtle works. The way we're working with Enso here is we need a way to allow users to directly swap into be it a deal or a campaign, which we can talk about in a bit. But the high level, every protocol we work with, they obviously have like much different interfaces for interacting with the protocol. Like for some, it's as simple as depositing into a vault. For some deals, it's maybe you need to hold an ERC20 token that the protocol issues. And so everybody is a little bit different. And Enso allows us to kind of abstract out the complexity of building a native integration for every single smart contract that we're interacting with. And we can kind of just route over, whether it's a swap, a vault deposit, we can just kind of have a user with all the tokens in their wallet and figure out the path to get them into the deal. And so that's where Enso comes into play.
Okay, so what I'm hearing from you is that what TerraDAO is essentially it's sort of like a marketplace where you match liquidity providers and where the liquidity should be placed in order for them to earn a high yield on their liquidity instead of just sitting around idle. And when you first started, it was just TurtleDAO UI where people made the deposits, sort of like a campaign platform like maybe Galaxy or something, except that this is on-chain actions. And now you are expanding so that other people who also have their own community will be able to provide this liquidity. When you mention liquidity providers, do you only mean, let's say, institutional liquidity, like maybe above of $1 million or something, or really just anybody on the streets and like, even if I have $100 to provide, it's open for me to provide?
Yeah, we have a few different products. Our public products, including like the deals and the ecosystem bootstrapping campaigns, those are available to any Turtle Club user. So there's no minimum commitment or size that you need to become a member of Turtle. It's as simple as signing a message. There's no on-chain custody of funds that we require. We're non-custodial. So yeah, those deals are all available to the public. We do have other deals that certain protocols will want a minimum commitment or a minimum lockup, where having that bargaining power is important. But we do have products on the horizon to allow people to deposit into vaults that can still get exposure to those kind of deals, because that way we can kind of pool everybody's funds together, and it's not like your $100 is not able to get the best deal on the market. You can kind of pool that with everybody else and use that bargaining power to tap into some of the private deal flow that we have.
Right, I understand. So Nick, you also mentioned that prior to you integrating Enso, there was some kind of user friction in which they have to learn how different UIs work because they have to deposit into different protocols, right? Do you think you could give some specific examples? Like, do you have any just off the top of your mind, like a specific protocol, maybe, I don't know, Uniswap or something being very difficult for users to understand, and then how you are using Enso to resolve this, and then Nanette could also chip in on what exactly is the action of Enso and how another developer might be able to access it. Like, where do you find it in your docs, and how do you do this?
Yeah. So a few deals on our front end that maybe were confusing. So we've got a deal with Euler right now where we have a boost on any Euler tokens that you earn from lending on the platform, but that only applies on certain vaults that are incentivized with Euler tokens, right? So if you go to their website, you can kind of see the turtle icon and kind of infer that those are the vaults you should be depositing in. But it would be better to allow users to deposit from the turtle site, because then it's just like a one-click thing where they can see, hey, here's the deal, here's exactly what I need to do to earn this boost, and not have to navigate to some other website and trying to kind of infer what pools are turtle boosted and which ones aren't. So with Enso, we can just define a list of the vault tokens that the boost is applied to, and present that to the user in terms of like a swap UI, like a Uniswap, where it's like, here are the tokens that are in your wallet, and here are the tokens that are applicable for this deal. And so then it's very obvious like what I'm supposed to do to earn this extra yield. So yeah, that's, I think, probably the best example we have. But yeah, there's other ones too where it's like maybe like a Zero Land or a Lombard, where it's not immediately obvious what you need to do to collect your boost. But with Enso, we can just kind of specify upfront what tokens are eligible, and then show that to the user. It's just a one-click experience.
Yeah, what I like about that, it sounds like you're also reducing the number of places where users can get confused and get lost in the entire process. So it's not just fragmentation of the UIs and the number of transactions, it's also making it super clear. This is all you need to do.
Yeah, 100%.
Funneling.
Go ahead, sorry.
I was saying it's like funneling. You channel the user step by step where exactly they are about to go, instead of you like throwing them into another UX and then letting them click around and figure out exactly what to do. So the benefit here is that you close off the probability that user will drop out. Okay, but let's move on to Nana. How exactly does Enso come into the picture to help this?
Yeah.
So I'll go. That was for me. Go ahead. Yeah. Go for it.
So I mean, you did briefly explain that you would offer users like a list of specific tokens that are really relevant for them for what they're trying to achieve, and now this is what I'm assuming that you guys did, and if I'm wrong, please correct me. So I bet that you used the Route API and simply provided the token in, token out, let the user specify inputs, and make it as simple as it sounds, because Route would actually traverse all the protocols and tokens that Enso recognizes, and it would find the optimal path in that moment to enter that token. Did I capture that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I can just do like a quick screen share too, just to show.
Oh yes, please.
Visually what it looks like. But is my screen available?
Yeah, we're seeing it.
There we go. Okay, I didn't see it before. Yeah. So currently Turtle's running this ecosystem bootstrapping campaign for a new blockchain called TAC, which is a EVM chain built on top of Telegram. So very soon, TAC mainnet will be available for users to come and use your favorite EVM dApps from within the Telegram app. And so we've been, for the past couple of months, provisioning TVL for their chain, so that on day one, all the dApps are working, and you can make swaps and lend and do all the usual DeFi stuff that you would do on any other EVM chain. So yeah, part of this pre-deposit campaign is we have a bunch of different vaults that all have different vault standards. So everyone's probably familiar with 4626 vault standard. Many of these vaults do follow that, but some of them do not. And that's where things get tricky, because for depositing into any given vault, we have to know, what that ABI is, and how to perform the transaction, right? And so we've got Veda, we've got Lagoon, we've got Upshift, Cyan, Concrete, and then a few custom standards built out by the external partners that we work with. So I think Midas and YieldFi both have their own standard that they built out themselves. So that's, I think, 8 different vault standards that we have to integrate for this. And from a technical side, it's quite complex because you have different ABIs and then different functions you need to call depending on deposit and withdraw. Some of them have cancelable withdrawals. Some of them you need to claim your withdrawal proceeds. So there's a lot to keep in mind when you're building out a product like this across many vaults. So with Enso, what we have built is not only just like a regular Uniswap style swap interface where you can, come in and just do like a normal swap. We also have, you can see this is just a simple route from Enso with the proven swap. We also have this campaigns tab now where you can go in and pick your vault. So this is just like I was saying with us specifying for this campaign, here are all the eligible ERC20 tokens that users can swap into and earn rewards. So they can come in here, they can pick their vault. So say they want to do the TAC BTC vault, and they have their list of tokens that are available in their wallet. So let's just do WETH. Let's do small amount more. And you can see Enso not only does the swap step here, but also does the deposit into the vault. So we can attempt to do a live demo, swap it, but yeah, it should be all good.
Yeah, while we wait for that, I actually have a question. So when you opened up a list of tokens, there was a complete list with balances, and were Enso APIs a part of that too? Or
Yeah.
use the
So the Enso API we also use to get the user balances for the different tokens. So yeah, and I believe prices and icons too. So yeah, that's another part of the API that we use. Looks like I don't have enough gas in my wallet, so I'm going to do something different here. Let's see. Yeah, gas is higher than usual today. But yeah, we can skip this part of the swap. But yeah, that's the gist of it.
So when you showed the page with the campaigns, right, I saw like many different boxes in which users can choose where to deposit it. From your experience, regarding your community of users, do people usually deposit in more than a few vaults, or they just like choose the highest APY and then they deposit there?
Yeah, usually I would say multiple vaults. Yeah, it depends on the exposure you want, because we basically have 3 silos. There's stables, ETH, and Bitcoin, and soon there'll be TON vaults as well for TON users. So yeah, I would say we see a good mix. Depends on the fund. Like if a fund is like a Bitcoin only fund or ETH whale or somebody, then maybe they just do their exposure of choice. But yeah, for the most part, we've seen it all. Yeah.
I see. That's nice. Also interesting to see that you're doing this for a tech summoning campaign, which is a blockchain liquidity campaign now. Seems like this narrative is getting hot. Barachain started it off with Boyco, I think sometime early this year, late last year to early this year. And then from then on, it seems like every new blockchain launch has been following this narrative. And do you feel, Nick, that you have a long pipeline of new blockchains coming that's probably going to add to this demand?
Yeah, we would like to have at least one of these flagship campaigns running all the time. So yeah, we've got a few new chains in the pipeline. We'll have more info on that coming soon. But yeah, the goal is to kind of always have like a real attractive flagship campaign for Turtle users to deposit into and earn best yields on the market. I think right now, like in terms of stablecoin yields, there's not a better yielding vault out there than these TAC vaults. Typically, some of the other strategies I've seen involve leverage and are not just native token emissions. And I think the FDV assumptions we use on these APYs is actually quite attractive. It's a 375 mil valuation for TAC, which I think is pretty reasonable with decent upside. So I'm biased, but I think it's probably the best yield farm out there right now.
Right. And Nana, for your side, do you also see an increase in volume for requests of such for such campaigns like blockchain campaigns? I understand that I think Enzo, we have done a few before, right? Maybe you can elaborate a bit on that.
Yeah, I mean, we are a part of that because again, the speed of shipping and bootstrapping those campaigns, that's something we bring value in, so people can actually get going sooner and make the whole process smoother. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that in the future we'll support more of these from the tech side too.
Yeah, certainly, and I think we'll soon add deal swap support for the deals. So instead of just having that campaigns tab, we will probably this week launch support for the deals on the homepage. Which let me just show again. So we'll have like a deposit button here where instead of people going to the Euler site, and doing the deposit themselves on Euler, they can so slow today. They can just go, okay, Euler's loaded. So usually the users would have to go here and then deposit into the vaults, turtle vaults like this to earn their boost. But we will have a deals tab available very soon here, which lists out all the deals that are compatible with Enso. And then users will be able to just swap directly into the vault from our site instead of navigating to another site.
Nana, on your side, looking at this list, do you know for sure, like if Enzo has all these integrated to be able to support it, and if not, if it's not an Enzo's list, and then what's going to happen? Are they going to have like just one weird empty box there?
Yeah, for the deals that aren't supported, they'll have to go to the website. Like a good example is probably Linex, where it's Uni v3 style liquidity provisioning. So you can't. There's not a ERC20 token to just swap into, right? Like you need to go onto the website and use their UI to kind of craft your LP position over the range that you want and mint it. So there's certain types of deals that maybe aren't applicable to like the general swap flow, but certainly in going to try to have as much support as possible for direct deposit on these deals.
Nana, you have anything to add on that?
Yeah, I'm thinking. So here we're talking practically about non-tokenized positions. Is that right? Or
well, it's still tokenized, but it's a NFT, right? So
yeah.
And the UI around provisioning liquidity, especially concentrated liquidity, can be quite tricky, right? Because you have two token inputs, and depending on the range and size you want to do, the amounts you need to put in changes, and it's not. Yeah, it's maybe like you can do the withdrawal step because that's just burning the NFT and getting the tokens out. But yeah, curious like if you guys have any plans on these kind of positions where it requires a bit more of a complex UI than just like your traditional Uniswap input output token swap.
Yeah, well, first of all, I think it's a it's a great idea for another Enso widget. Yeah, and we did have an example of Unichain, a Uniswap migrator that was released. So it would it was actually a far more complex UI where you would take your position and migrate it to a Unity 4 pool. So you would have to pick a bunch of things starting from tokens. So from the technical perspective, I'm pretty sure this is possible because besides the route API, there's also far more configurable bundle API. So you would really specify the steps. You could even start with one token and then split it into appropriate tokens and then deposit into the vault. So from the technical perspective, I think the capability is there. Of course, building such a UI and hitting exactly the blueprint for that kind of bundle, the route is the trickier part, but pretty sure that it's far more optimal compared to the traditional way of integrating that kind of thing.
Yeah. Another one too I thought of would be, it would be nice if you guys had like some hook support or something where you could build out like custom on-chain hooks into your
Yeah,
routes.
I can share the widget that Nana was talking about. So this
No.
is for more complex positions. This is a widget that we built for migration or creating new position for Uniswap v4. Of course, we can be building this for any other maybe Uniswap DEX or similar v3 v4 kind of liquidity adding. So as you can see here, for the user, they can tap in any token. It can be like single-sided or even an unrelated token. And then here you select the pool that you want to deposit in. So like what is the percentage fee? And then even here you can select like the range and the tick. So everything is very customizable. So that's probably something that we can add to the DAO if you have in the future you want to add such kind of liquidity addition. One more thing that we do with V3, where people where there are different where it's maybe a bit more complex for novice users to add liquidity because it's not like V2, right? You just add and then it's like split half into each token. It's a simple swap. So one thing that we do is that we integrate ALMs, which is a way to abstract the complexity away such that it feels like it's a V2 deposit, but actually it's a V3 deposit. So we have that in the pipeline. Very much looking forward to adding that to TurtleDAO.
Yeah, I would love to try it out. Yeah, I think if we can cover all the deals, that would be great. I'm sure there'll always be like a new kind of standard or something that comes out that will take some maneuvering to integrate. But yeah, happy to partner up and work through it.
Sure. Okay. Maybe now we all understand about what TurtleDAO is and what Enso is and how exactly Enso is helping TurtleDAO to abstract away all these user complexities. This reminds me of a conversation that I just had recently of another campaign platform. So we were discussing about letting users jump out to different websites to click versus having everything on your own front end. So one of the interesting opinions was that okay, actually the different partners like let's say Euler, Uniswap or whatever behind the actions, the incentivized actions, they like the user to pop up to their website to have a feel around. So maybe it's for user retention or acquisition of new users. But then there's also another point that yes, the user will pop up to experience the what the other UI is about, but in the end, do they deposit or not is another question. So what are you actually optimizing for? For like casual browsers, or do you actually want the TVL? So in the end, we did agree that okay, if you're optimizing for TVL, if you're optimizing to earn the incentives, then definitely having everything neatly in one page is the way to optimize for that. So glad that it's helping you in TurtleDAO. Yeah, so maybe we can move on to the roadmap in the near future. Maybe we can start with Nana this time. What are the latest developments in for Enzo, and any alpha that you can drop for maybe the next few weeks or next few months?
Mhm. Okay, so one of the things that I think we should mention again is the Uniswap migrator, because as you saw, the UI is quite powerful and lets people uh, go through that whole process way easier. And one thing that we didn't mention there is that it actually goes cross-chain, so you could deposit into a pool on a different chain. And speaking of cross-chain, this is, well, let's say alpha. This is something that's coming end of this week. It's actually the route API, but bridged. So the deal here is that for the Uniswap migrator, it used the bundle API. So you would need to, be very verbose about, okay, I want to do a bridging action, and then I want to, do some splits before that and do some callbacks after that. And the cross-chain route API would make these things simpler to get those tokens from one chain to another, as another DevX sort of thing for builders to be able to implement that way easier. And yeah, that's that's pretty much near term alpha, and in 2 weeks we'll see what's coming up new.
Sure. How about for Turtle Down, Nick?
Yeah. So we've got obviously more campaigns in the pipeline. Like I touched on earlier, we also have our distributor product that we're continuing to build out to be production ready, which will enable third-party teams to tap into our deal flow and then start earning a rev share off of that. So we're excited to start enabling other people to utilize Turtle's deal flow and earn a rev share off of that. But yeah, besides that, we're excited to continue building out Turtle and getting more users and provisioning as much liquidity as possible for our partners.
Okay, sure. I guess maybe we can move on to audience questions. Let me see if there's any. Okay, somebody was asking about cross chain. Is there any demand for cross chain? And yeah, so this question is open to both for Enzo as well as for Nick. Is there any demand for cross chain, and do you have any future plans to support that? We can start with Nick then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah. So in terms of cross chain, yeah, we've had cross chain deals in the past. I think we still have a deal going with Swell right now. But yeah, the deal with that is we just track your deposits on that chain, and then with the partner and how many points you've earned or tokens you've earned on that chain, and then that's how your boost is earned for Turtle. For the TAC campaign, it is cross chain, right? It's the chain is a side chain on top of Telegram, so all the funds that are currently on the Ethereum vaults will be bridged to TAC mainnet once that goes live and seeding all the dApps on it. So yeah, I think we already do support cross chain. We do have plans to do Solana support and some non-EVM chains in the near future too. But yeah, already do cross chain from Turtle's perspective.
So I mean, like, for, I guess the question is more like, do users request for the ability to deposit cross chain? For example, tag is on Ethereum. Do people say that, okay, I actually only have tokens on Sonic, and I can't join Ethereum Vault, and I don't want to do that because you don't support it?
Yeah, certainly for like that, we can use the Swell deal as an example. But yeah, it would be, again, I think with the current Enso setup, that deal wouldn't be supported, right? Because there's no bridging capability, right? But yeah, if you guys do add bridging or cross chain, support, then we could have, a zap for that deal where it's like, hey, here, doesn't matter what chain you're on or where your tokens are. This is how you can start earning a boost for Swell.
Yeah, I do have a lot of demand for that as well from the BD side because I speak to partners who use Enso API and Enso SDK, and a lot of people are asking me about cross-chain API and SDK, which is also something I asked Nenad just today, maybe just a couple of hours before our live stream. Nenad, please tell us, when are we going to have it?
Have the SDK or the cross-chain?
SDK API for cross-chain.
Yeah. Okay, so to reiterate on this, so we do have ability for devs to do cross-chain with the bundle API, which is a bit more complex, and the simpler routing sort of thing. That's something in the works. I think by the next live stream, we'll definitely we'll definitely have that. And yeah, I don't know about the demand as much as you do because you're on the BD side, but from talking to devs, I've had quite a few chats about the cross-chain APIs and the current way to do it and stuff like that. And what really sort of resonated is actually the ability to not only bridge but also have like callback actions that happen after the funds are bridged. So it's not just it ends up on another chain. You can keep routing those assets even after it landed. So it's quite cool to see those reactions from devs.
Can you give an example? There's a bit technical. Like, can you give a normal person English kind of answer? Like what is this callback thing?
The callback thing. Oh, okay. So I didn't really explain that well. So there are two parts. The first part, you do something with your funds before the bridging happens, and then the bridging happens. And then after that, you have another little sequence of actions that you want to do. We call that callback because it happens after the bridging is done, and we're called back saying, "Hey, it's bridged. You can keep going." So it's just two sets of actions over essentially same assets, same, but not different.
Okay. So an example would be something like I deposit into a Uniswap pool on one chain, and then I
Mhm.
get the LP token and I bridge it over to another chain, and then I use it as collateral on a lending platform on the other chain. Something like that.
Yes, something like that, exactly. And using it on the collateral on another chain, that would be your callback. It's a technical name. It's just a little confusing. Yeah.
So is this already available on Enzo?
Yeah.
It's super cool. Yeah, I guess whoever
Mhm.
is developing this, because I think right now there's also a lot of, because crypto is getting very competitive, and because there's so many stable coins, there's so many asset management votes, everybody's competing on you, who is going to give the best yield. And as a result, and also because of the rise of the AI trend, there's so many automated strategy yields, and this will come in really, really handy.
Absolutely. And one other thing with automated strategies and all that kind of stuff, that there is also a way to add a fee to that whole bridging process. So actually somebody who creates a service that does something like that in an automated way can actually get a transaction fee from that, which I think it's a cool be necessary for those protocols to get some.
Interesting. Okay, we have another question from the audience for Turtle DAO, specifically on on tech deposits. Does this rely on any off-chain relayers or oracles, or is everything fully on-chain?
Yeah, everything is fully on chain for the TAC pre-deposit campaign right now. Everything's done on Ethereum. With the three core vaults are beta vaults. So beta is used on other protocols like EtherFi and Lombard, and I think they are the largest vault provider by TVL. So yeah, we're non-custodial in the sense that Turtle didn't develop all these vaults standards ourselves. We're using third parties that have built it out and battle tested the contracts. So yeah, right now all of the TAC pre-deposits are living on Ethereum mainnet. Even once TAC goes live, those vaults will still be open for deposit and withdraw because we want our LPs to still be able to use Ethereum. But yeah, once once TAC mainnet goes live, the Polygon Ag layer bridge will be used to move funds over to TAC, and those funds will be deployed into Curve, Morpho, Euler, basically like blue chip dApps on TAC day one, and earning a yield there too. So.
This question reminds me of the conversation that we had during the integration of Enso and Turtle Club, where the tracking was supposed to be on chain, right?
Yeah,
Because yeah, do you want to elaborate on that? Like maybe Nanat or Nick?
yeah, we like part of the distributor product is knowing which front end source the liquidity for a given deal or campaign, because we need to be able to attribute, hey, this deposit came from this distributor versus that distributor. And so we worked with the Enso team to get the referral code to be customizable so that the referral event that's emitted on chain contains the data that we need to do that attribution. So from the API, we can now specify which distributor created that transaction, and then on chain that referral code is included. So then we can say, here's a list of transactions that are associated with this distributor.
Nana, is there anything to add? Like, is this in the docs for new partners if let's say they want to reference somewhere?
Yeah, honestly not, but I think that's a pretty good idea to add it there.
Yeah, so I think just to summarize and to phrase things, to rephrase things. So what we're referring to is because for TurtleDAO, they have their own front end, and they also want to act as a distribution channel for other agents to deposit, and there has to be a way to track all these different agents. Because let's say they have 100 different agents, how are they going to track, right? So we have all this tracking done on chain, in which we will be able to track which distributor A, B, C we can track it back to TurtleDAO so that we can give them their share of incentives or whatever it is because each of them will have individual deals. So that is something that we custom built for TurtleDAO, and of course Enso is very flexible for whatever different use case. We recommend that you join our Telegram group chat. We have a public builders chat, and we also create individual group chats with each of our partners. If you have any specific requests that you don't see in the docs, feel free to raise them up to us. We are very happy to explore new options and new ideas.
Yeah, actually, I would
Go.
just like to slide in there for the tracking. The If you go into the API docs, so when you start integrating, you will actually find a way to track requests. So there's not a guide about that, but there is a way. So both route and bundle, which automate the whole thing, they have an additional property called God, my brain is stuck. Referral code, right? So the referral code would actually be a part of the transaction that encapsulates the whole DeFi strategy, which means it will be emitted as a part of an event, and it's unique pretty much to any. It's unique for every Enso user. So essentially, you can pull out all the data uh, as events from the chain and go about aggregating that and keep following it.
Yep, thanks. Okay, I think we have almost come to the end of our live stream. Any last comments from Nick or Nanette?
Come sign up to Turtle. Yeah, there's going to be a lot more to come this year, and hopefully you can get access to the best deals in Web3, and earn the best yields possible on your positions.
Nanette?
For me, definitely see you next week. And if you haven't tried building with Enso, go ahead with our getting started sections and get a feel for how easy things can get.
All right, thank you everyone for your time. Thanks to the audience for watching, and thank you Nanette, thank you Nick for being here with me today. Call out to the audience to please follow Enzo Build and Turtle Clubhouse on all our socials. For Enzo, we have a public builders telegram. Please join. Feel free to ask any questions. Nana is there to support you, and we also have other members from our tech team to answer whatever integration questions you might have. And also, thank you very much to Leonie and Nico, who's helping us back end. They are in charge of our marketing and stuff, and they've helped us a lot in setting this up. So we look forward to our next episode, which will be in the 2 weeks' time because we have it once every 2 weeks. If you have any suggestions on which protocols that you would like us to highlight, feel free to drop us a message in our socials or in our TG group as well. And if you have any requests for actions or new protocol that you think is very hype and we should have it, but you don't see it in our documentation, please also leave us a message and we will look through that request. So again, thank you everybody for your time. Hope to see you again soon. Have a good day and